up, man? How you doing?
What's going on?
All right. It's Kevin Garcia, a.k.a. the Puerto Rican Kid KG. This is FightHype, and I got my man. Y'all already know who he is, but if you need an introduction, it's Caleb Plant. Thank you for your time, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's get right into it. Let's get cooking, Caleb. There's a lot of topics in boxing. First one, I got to get your insights and thoughts on Beterbiev, Bivol. How'd you see the fight?
Actually, I didn't see the fight. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it was a great fight. Heard it was a close fight, and you know, I don't know. I got to see it to give you a real analysis. You know what I'm saying? Give you a fair shake. So.
Yeah, no, that's listen, honest insight, and I appreciate that. What kept you from watching it, man? Is boxing just not like a priority in your life when you're not in it?
No. Boxing is always a priority in my life.
I mean, like watching other fighters.
Yeah, no, I'll watch other fighters. I'll watch fights, and it's just something we were just busy that day. We may have been out of town or busy or something was going on. So otherwise, I definitely would have tuned in.
No doubt. Well, you know, then I'm sure you've heard the talk. You're supposedly controversial, whatever. You didn't watch the fight, so I'll ask you this question: can a close fight be a robbery?
No. I don't think a close fight necessarily is a robbery. You know, it could be a close fight and a guy edge out a round for 12 rounds straight, and it'd be, you know, a great fight and somebody went 12-0. So you got to be careful, you know, when you're judging fights, when you're watching fights, when you're listening to commentators. Not that, you know, in this last fight the commentators did anything wrong, but I'm just saying in general. So yeah, there's always swing rounds that are really close, and yeah, so I don't necessarily believe in that. You know, close fights are close fights. So.
There you go. So obviously we know the outcome. Beterbiev won. 175 is getting a little hot and popping right now. Benavidez versus Morel was announced. What are your thoughts on that fight, and how do you see it playing out?
Man, great fight, and you know, just excited as a boxing fan, you know, to see, you know, David Morel and David Benavidez get in there and go at it.
Do you have a pick in that fight? Do you favor somebody?
It's hard to say. You know, David has a little more experience, especially at that, you know, upper echelon level, and but you know, David Morel's a real talent too, and with a lot of boxing skill, a good trainer, Ronnie Shields. So it's hard to say. Like I said, I'll just be tuned in as a fan, kind of like Bivol and Beterbiev. When it's big fights like that, I just want to see a good fight.
So, former opponent of yours in Canelo, former opponent of yours in Benavidez. It seems like Canelo's getting into, it's rumored that he's getting into talks with Beterbiev, or is, you know, favoring that as a potential fight. David wins his fight against Morel. You know, obviously he'd be in the mix too. Of those two guys, especially based on your experience, Canelo and Benavidez, who do you think gives Beterbiev the harder fight?
That's a good question. I don't know. Their styles are different, you know, so styles make fights. You know, there's usually a style out there that can give, you know, whatever your style is, there's usually a style out there that can give it trouble. So, and that's up to Beterbiev, you know, which style gives him more trouble. So it's hard to say. Those would be big fights that I would just be tuned into as well. So
there you go, a real pro. You know what you're doing, Caleb.
Caleb, before the loss and after the loss, Berlanga keep running his mouth. He won that beef with you. It's real, and he's asking for it. For you, he even said in Puerto Rico.
He ain't asking for me.
He said in Puerto Rico that he wants
Ask
to.
Your boy right here.
He wants to in fight in Puerto Rico. So,
no, he don't.
What you got on that, man?
No, he ain't asking for me. He was just asking him in New York if Berlanga, you know, and he's out of it. He was just asking the question. He didn't do anything, but he was asking Berlanga, "Do you want to fight me?" And he was like, "No, you know, Jamal, Munguia." Those are the fights he's more interested in right now.
So now he don't want the heat. Looks like.
Question for him, but if he wanted to fight me bad enough, then he would have said my name and he would have been on board with it. If he was really excited, really, you know, and really wanted that, I'm saying his name, you know. So it seems like his energy is a little different, but that's okay.
The promotion here said that he will be here tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna ask him and see what's up. You know. So you got any message on that? Do you got any message for him, straight up?
I mean, make a big fight happen. Let's make a big fight happen.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
If that fight does happen, where do you believe it'll be most explosive?
What, like, say again?
I said, if the fight versus Berlanga does happen, where do you believe the fight would be more explosive? Like, will it be more explosive on the West Coast? Will it be more explosive on the East Coast?
I think it's the biggest fight. You know, I think it's the biggest fight. You know, all the big fights happen in Vegas. And to be a big fight, you know. So I think it deserves, you know, MGM or you know, at least Mandalay Bay, something like that. So
if the fight is sent to you and the offer is made, and Berlanga wants to fight, let's say Madison Square Garden, would you consider that?
I would consider that, yeah. And you know, I don't want it to be a situation either where it's like, you know, he makes an offer and then he offers me like $50,000, and if I say no, then you know I'm ducking him. So you know, it has to be a real offer on both sides, and you know, like I've said, It's never been hard to make a fight with me before. So
absolutely. Thank you very much, Shane.
Oh man, thank you.
Waiting for.